curse you, I'm after you. Oh boy. Donald Trump is back in the news, and frankly, it's getting really much more dangerous. He held one of his idiotic rallies in which, by now everyone pretty much knows, that he's dangling pardons for the people who invaded the Capitol on January the 6th. Saying they were treated wrongly, blah, 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 yick. That's dangerous enough. But I want to play another clip on that rally that everyone needs to listen and take very, very, very seriously.
If these radical, vicious, racist prosecutors do anything wrong or illegal, I hope we are going to have in this country the biggest protest we have ever had in Washington, D.C., in New York, in Atlanta, and elsewhere, because our country and our elections are corrupt. They're corrupt.
I hope you were all paying attention to what he just did there. What Donald Trump just did was call for a civil war, another attack on our country, because he lost an election. But now it's because he's under investigation, multiple investigations into his business and his attempts to overturn the election. In Georgia, right now, they're still investigating him on that phone call in which he called the Secretary of State there, Brad Raffensperger, who to try to overturn the election into his favor. Let's get something straight right now. A lot of the ignorant Trump supporters out there are going to listen to this and they're going to follow his orders, just as they did on January the 6th. Right now, in this point, this is all Trump does. This is all Trump is. As Keith Olbermann said, he's the modern day Nero, lighting the match while Rome burns. And he's enjoying it. He doesn't, and here's the thing, that statement of his trying to create pardons for people who have been arrested on January the 6th, he's not going to do that. To this point, he hasn't paid one legal bill for the people who have been arrested thus far. Not for the Oath Keepers or anyone else who actually had been convicted, or anyone who's about to stand trial for the January 6th insurrection. Not one person has received one penny from Donald Trump to help in their defense. Why are we surprised at this? Donald Trump does not care about you. He never has, and he never will. He just lights the match and watch it all burn. Because that's what he does. As I said earlier, as Keith Olbermann called him, he's the modern day Nero. That's all he does. And by the way, why would you mention the race of the district attorneys that are investigating you? Because they happen to be women or black? Really? Are you really that dense that you would mention race? They're not coming after you because you're white, Trump. They're not coming after you because they happen to be black. They're coming after you because you broke the law. Period. You broke the law. You know, those inconvenient things that got in your way constantly when you were molesting women. You were stealing money from people. The law, Trump. But you're a damn racist, plain and simple. And you just showed it. But he also released a statement late last night. And I think every one of you need to hear this. And every one of you need to understand what Trump was trying to do. Or what Trump was expecting someone else to do. Take a listen at this. If the Vice President, Mike Pence at the time, had absolutely no right to change the presidential election results in the Senate, despite fraud and many other irregularities, how come the Democrats and rival Republicans like wacky Susan Collins are desperate to pass legislation that will not allow the vice president to change the election results? Actually, what they're saying is that Mike Pence did have the right to change the election outcome. And they want now to take that right away. Unfortunately, he didn't exercise that power. He could have overturned the election. No, Trump. He didn't have the power to overturn the election. You know why? Because it's in the Constitution that Donald Trump, that the Vice President of the United States could hear the objections, but couldn't overturn the election results. You should know that more than anyone. Then Vice President Joe Biden heard the objections of the Democrats and couldn't do anything to stop up your election. So what makes you think that Mike Pence had the legal and constitutional power to overturn an election result? Trump, stop. Because quite honestly, these are the rantings of a desperate man trying to hold on to his power. Not a man who actually thinks that there was election fraud. But let's put this in perspective. There was election fraud. But the election fraud was on the side of the Republicans, the side of the Trumpers, not Joe Biden and the Democrats. We've already seen that. Right now, the Justice Department is about to investigate the false electors that your lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, was the head of, trying to overturn the election, sending false information that you won the election. It's over, Trump. You lost. Over and over and over again. In this statement of yours at that rally, that you want riots if you're ever prosecuted, that you want riots around the country, was a call to civil war, and for that, you should be charged with treason against the state. Now imagine if I said something like this on open to YouTube. If I, or Mike Pence, or Joe Biden, or Barack Obama had said something like this, you, Donald Trump, and the rest of you Trumper idiots would be wanting his head in a noose. Don't lie and say you wouldn't. Because here's the facts. Donald Trump lost the election. Donald Trump is going to continue to lose the election. And these rantings are those of a man who is desperate to stay in power, and frankly is pathetic. Now, I'm sorry that you think that all your life you've been this winner, but now you're a loser. And you lost huge. And you're going to continue to lose huge, because we're still investigating Trump, regardless of how many threats you guys want to put out there. No matter how many guys, Donald Trump supporters, want to threaten prosecutors. And yes, there have been threats up to the point where the Atlanta, Georgia the district attorney there has called the FBI for help in protecting their employees and protecting her. It's not going to end, Trump, because you want it to. The pain is still coming, and it's coming soon. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.